Kia ora, Matapelo here to bring you the latest weather information. So what happened today on Friday? Well, Wellington finally saw some sunshine, some blue skies this morning. It's been a pretty cloudy week down here, but this morning has been nice and sunny. For the rest of the country, however, up here in the North Island, especially in these eastern parts, also some good sunshine this morning, but a bit of a different story down the west coast and in the far south. Some cloudy and showery conditions down there. For the rest of today, we are expecting this western North Island to start deteriorating as the day goes on. By the end of the day, very wet and showery out there. A very similar story down here in the far south. Even some snowfalls expected in the overnight period and into tomorrow morning. Elsewhere down here in the east, also a little bit of showers sprinkling through in the overnight. So we also have a lot of wind in the country, and we've got some watches that have been out for the last couple of days. This one here in Canterbury goes until tonight 9 p.m. Up here in Hawke's Bay and the Tararua district into Saturday morning. But then up here in the far north, including Northland, Auckland and the Coromandel Peninsula, that is for the bulk of Saturday, only going until midnight on early Sunday morning for the Auckland region. So more details about that are on metservice.com. So looking ahead to the overnight period, we mentioned a little bit of that snow as well. We've got some snow this evening expected in the Milford Road, on the Milford Road, and as well as Crown Range Road in the overnight period. Some possible snow settling on the roads. Further into tomorrow early morning for Porter's Pass, and then for tomorrow morning into the afternoon for the Desert Road. So once again, more details around those road snowfall warnings are available on metservice.com. So looking at that overnight period, we've got these fronts that are making their way up the country, bringing in a lot of wet weather, a lot of wind, and a lot of showery conditions as well. A lot of blue over that North Island. That is going to be a theme into Saturday. And of course, a lot of snowfalls down here in the South Island. Those snowfalls are expected to lower down to about 200 meters in Southland and Clutha overnight, and then about 500 meters in the central Otago region. So having a look at those temperatures, a lot of snowfall, a lot of cloud around. So very chilly temperatures expected. The North Island, those temperatures mostly in the single digits. Auckland up there in the double digits at 10 degrees. But in the inland areas, Taupo only around 7 degrees. Down here in the South Island, quite a chilly morning expected, but not as chilly as Sunday morning. But yeah, tomorrow will still be quite chilly to start off with. Queenstown there at 3 degrees, which could also see a little bit of snowfalls in the first part of the morning. Then looking ahead for the bulk of the day, the North Island, as we mentioned, quite a showery day, very active weather happening, bit of an indoor day tomorrow in the North Island and very windy as well. If you are going to be out and about in the North Island, do take extra care. We are expecting some possible thunderstorms, especially for areas in the northern half of the North Island, and very gusty conditions as well. So definitely an extra care weather day tomorrow expected. Then we're looking ahead at the South Island, a very similar story. We have that front moving through earlier in the day. So the worst of that weather is expected in the first part of the day. We are expecting things to start clearing as the day goes on, or at least easing compared to the morning. And of course, we have that snow in the far south in the first part of the day, and very windy conditions. Some of that snow could reach Banks Peninsula as well. So having a closer look at the temperatures expected tomorrow, generally a southwesterly flow over most of the country, so quite chilly daytime temperatures all round. Wellington only reaching 12 degrees, and the same in the middle of the North Island. Out here in the east, where it normally is a little bit warmer, still a bit chilly in the mid-teens there. The overnight period into Sunday morning is also going to be quite cold. We see these mid-single digits, only 3 degrees in a lot of places as well. Then heading down to the South Island, very similar story, southwesterly flow, keeping things a little bit chilly temperature-wise. So Christchurch only reaching a maximum of 12 on Saturday, even colder down here in Invercargill. Overnight into Sunday, it is also a similar story. We've got these low single digits up the East Coast and for many parts of the South Island. So do wrap up warm on Sunday morning. So speaking of Sunday, what we're expecting for the rest of the day, the good news is that it is an active weather day on Saturday, but Sunday things do improve, especially out here in the North Island. Maybe just a little bit of showers in those western parts, but the eastern stretch of both islands recovering quite nicely in terms of those temperatures. By the end of the day, however, we do see down here, down the west coast, a little bit of wet weather starting to come through once again. That's all I have for you for today. Matewa.